He was 88 years old, and it was his first time decorating the White House. A florist from Chicago. So, real special group of people. And then we had to leave. That was it. So this is leaving. This is leaving.
You didn't decorate outside, you didn't?
No, we just did the interior. There were some volunteers that were there the week prior to us that did the vice president's home. So also beautiful, beautiful work there. There's some pictures coming up on that in a minute. So I really believe when you're privileged enough to experience something so unique and so wonderful that it's more than just for me. I mean, there has to be some takeaway. And I reflect on that and think, well, what am I supposed to take from the experience? And that's just to share things that I learned and to educate and inspire others. And that's what I hope to do here tonight. And after thinking about it, I came to realize there was no magic to how we did what we did at the White House. There were no special ornaments or special materials, and some people there didn't even have any skills. And we still made it look amazing. And the reason it looked amazing is because they definitely take you through 4 steps to achieve the best possible outcome. That was to have a plan, assemble your materials, construct things, and install. Those are the 4 basic steps that we went through at the White House. And this is something that I learned that I can do in my own home, you can do in your homes. It's not rocket science. So I will outline for you quickly what I mean by each of those steps. And the first is when you decide to come up with a plan for yourself in your home. You're going to give some thought ahead of time. Is this an inside project, outside project? Keep in mind when you decorate a room, your peripheral vision sees what's outside those windows and it sees what's outside those windows. And you want your areas to flow. So you're going to continue to pay attention to your adjacent areas. Personalize it. Anybody can do generic red. But if there's something that you really love, like maybe you sail and you're a boater, and boats want, or water wants to be your theme, or beach wants to be your theme, personalize it, because then you won't tire of it, because it's something that you love. And you're going to put some energy into this, so pick something you really, really love. I say choose a color scheme and have fun. Think outside the box. Any color is good for Christmas. This over here is an example. I brought this as an example of how to use a different color. This goes in my daughter's bedroom. She has a bedroom that's pink and green. So I did a pink wreath for her. Any color goes. And I would say any flower goes too, because I think to limit yourself to the traditional Christmas, poinsettias or amaryllis, it's just limiting. So I chose pink flowers here, and since they didn't look Christmassy, I just sprayed them with some glue and put a bunch of glitter on them, and glitter makes anything Christmas. I'm going to tell you right now, like, I'm one of these people, if you bump into me around town 9 times out of 10, you're going to be like, she has glitter on her face. I always have glitter on me. Glitter everything. It makes it wintry. You're good to go. Make your concept board, like I told you we had, to determine a color, your ribbon, your flowers, and consider all the senses, just as I told you they used at the White House. And then you got a plan. Not hard. This picture is in here because I thought this was obviously a well thought out plan. This is the dining room at the Biden's house, done by the volunteers. I loved how they paid attention to everything that was at eye level. I love how they carried the same color scheme and the theme throughout the room. And it's not complicated. You could do anything on here, really. I mean, it's just a matter of carrying the theme throughout the room. Your tree is not just a tree in a room in isolation. There are other things that you can accessorize in the room to carry a theme throughout. I mean, this is nothing but a vase of flowers with some clippings and greens on the table. Anybody can do that. But look how beautiful it looks. I just think that's a great example of a well thought out plan. So then assemble your materials. And this takes time. This is the time-consuming part, because I'm cheap about this, because I think, you know what, you're only putting these decorations out for 1 month out of the year. I just don't believe in investing an exorbitant amount of money in this. So if you shop at the right time of year, you can assemble your materials. I said florist wire and snippers as my first thing up here, because I will tell you, We went through miles and miles and miles of florist wire at the White House. It was the #1 material used, not hot glue. Hot glue doesn't hold year to year. If you put it in the attic and it gets hot and then cold, your glue is no good. Wire will hold on for forever. You can undo it, you can redo it. It's cheap. This is the best thing you can buy to put your things together with. Greens. We're going to talk in a few minutes here about greens. You've got your live and your artificial. Light everywhere. Candles. You know, the flameless candles now are so smart, safe, and they look beautiful. But anywhere you can get lights. I also like the lights that you buy that you can maybe put into an arrangement. They have the little battery pack, so you can put lights like on a table and not have a cord running across your kitchen table or across your kitchen floor, but you can have light in your centerpieces. So pay attention to that. Wired ribbon. People make the mistake of going much too narrow on your ribbon. Always buy the widest ribbon you can possibly buy. 3 inches, 4 inches, get the fat stuff. Because when you're looking at it in the store and you want to buy it, you're holding it 6 inches from your eye and you think, oh, this is pretty. But you're not looking at your decorations from 6 inches, 6 inches away. You're standing many, many feet off of it and you lose that skinny ribbon when you step back. So buy fat ribbon. Lots of botanicals, I recommend. Lots of leaves and flowers and greenery. About 50% botanicals, 50% ornament. That's how I like to do it on my tree. And when you think you have enough, you don't. Double your quantities. I mean, it's amazing how much we used at the White House. And I learned when I was there that when you think you're done, you're halfway there. Okay? And never pay full price. Never. Never. Use your coupons. Construct it. Okay, put it all together now. You've got your things. On this artificial greenery, I can't stress enough, fluff it. I took this out of the attic yesterday. It was a balled up mess of just wires. But if you go each stem, pull it out, straighten it out, eventually you'll fluff it to twice its size. And it'll go a lot farther for you visually that way. The rule of odds, it's like landscaping. 3s, 5s, 7s. Stick with your odd numbers when you're choosing like ornament clusters or a number of flowers. Stick with odd numbers. Perspective matters. Again, remember, like if you're doing a railing in a tall foyer, you're going to see that top railing from many, many, many feet away. So remember to step back off of your project and look at it from the perspective that others will see it from. And that'll help you to do it properly. And if you step off and you realize you didn't do it properly, take it apart and do it again. Just take it apart, undo your wire and do it again, so you'll get it right. And then install. There were 100 of us at the White House. You can't do it all yourself. Like, have your family help and make it fun. Put out snacks for the kids and wine for the grown-ups and make it fun. Put the music on and have them help you. It's a lot of work. So there you go. Now, you're going to say, why in the world did she stick a track picture in there? So this is the Solon High School track and field Lady Comets. They won the state championship in 2014. And they didn't win the state championship in June by starting their training in May. They trained all year long to get to be the best. So, having said that, I very much respect people who say, why are we getting Christmas in the store so early? Why are we rushing the season? I don't want to see it until the day after Thanksgiving. I totally get that. And that's fine. But if you want to achieve a high-end look, and if you want to achieve something as beautiful as what's done in the White House, it can't be done quickly. It takes time. So, in decorating, we have an off-season. And here's my schedule. Okay? And I try my best to stick to it. I'm sorry if that's not.
Shop, is that what
Shop. There we go. Shop. Shop, shop, shop. Day after Christmas is when I start. If there's a theme that I saw in the stores that I really, really loved, go get those things now that they're on sale for 50, 75, up to 90% off sometimes. I know Petites will run sometimes 90% off their ornaments in January because they just want to get rid of it. So shop cheap. Don't pay any more than 75% off, really. February through October, I have a lot of trees, so I have some storage issues. So you gotta address your storage needs, and sometimes work on bigger pieces or larger projects. I have some friends in the room that will attest to the fact that last Christmas I said, I really wish I had a sleigh for the front yard. So what do you know? Cheryl's husband was kind enough to drive my husband to Buffalo in April to pick up a sleigh that I bought on eBay. And it's been in the garage since April, and I've been working on it, and I'll probably be in there painting tomorrow. So if anybody wants to stop by and see the sleigh, I'll be in the garage. But big projects, I mean, you have to do it when you can do it. So now's my time. Okay, so November 1st for me is like the big day. That's when the attic opens up and all the bins start coming out. And my poor family, they're like really, the teenagers, they're so embarrassed. They're like, my mom is already decorating for Christmas. And I have to because I have too much stuff. So I do my interior install throughout the month of November. And then on the day after Thanksgiving, so I don't annoy the neighbors, then I do the outside. And by December 1st, I want to be done, and there's a reason for that. I want to enjoy the holiday with my friends and my family, and I want to have company in, and I want to enjoy it, and I just think it's, it's a short season, and when you've gone to so much work, I don't want to be stressed about it. It's supposed to be fun. So I want to be done decorating by December 1st, and we celebrate until we're done with the very last group of people sometime in January. So that's my schedule, and I'm sticking to it. If you follow those steps, you can really make some really pretty things. And I'm not a professionally trained decorator by trade. I was a teacher, but I've always been passionate about decorating and floral. So these are just pictures of some projects that I've done. And you get a sense, hopefully, that with some planning, and with some time, you can pull off some cool things. I almost brought this wreath, but I figured the picture was good enough. I love this example here because I bought the red wreath just by itself, but then I decided it was too scrawny, so then when TD's had their big sale, I went and bought this garland at like 90% off, and I just wired it to the back, and suddenly this little dinky wreath suddenly looked really big. I thought, put a bow on that, and we're good to go. So you can take something and build on it. Like, try to get your creative juices flowing and think of how you can make something ordinary seem a little bit better. This is the pink wreath was an example of fun with color. So those are the steps that I encourage you to go through, and I will, in the last few minutes here, just give you a few tricks that I learned when I was at the White House that I thought, well, this is so simple, why didn't somebody tell me this before? So now you'll all know. It'll be like you went. Okay, artificial greens. It's a necessary evil. I don't think they're particularly attractive, but I can't justify spending all the money for live greens inside the house when they're just going to dry out, they're not going to last through the season, and I can't reuse them next year. So we have the live greens that we can use to build on the artificial. This is the perfect base to build on, to make something ordinary look really special. So here's a quick trick. Get some live greens. You can get little bundles of them at Petit's or Breezewood, and when you have your artificial greens, start just laying in a few fresh pieces here and there, and it camouflages the ugly greens, and suddenly your eye just goes right to, oh, that piece is too big. Your eye will just go to the fresh. Now you can't, I don't do this everywhere in my house, but in certain places you can get away with it. For example, the wreath on the front door. Sure, it's outside, so it'll stay cold, and these pieces will look beautiful when guests come to your door. Do you see how that's just kind of transformed from the ugly greens? I don't know, can you see? So it's really easy to just camouflage that ugly base with a few pieces, so you're not spending a lot of money. At the end of the season, you pick out those few pieces and throw them away, and you still have your base and just refresh next year. I like to do this outside, where it stays cold, because they stay nice. I like to do this on the center of the dining room table. because like here, I will just take a vase and throw greens in and put a string of those lights in here, and there's a tall centerpiece for when you entertain. I keep the greens out on the porch so that when people come over, if I want to throw some greens on a serving platter, like the turkey at the White House, you have a little stash outside. And so the things that you're seeing up close and the things that are outside, I do that. I can't do that to everything, but a few select pieces are on the table especially. Sparkle and shine. I'm a huge fan of glitter. Anything that sparkles to me is Christmassy. So yeah, use your glitter. Go to Michael's, buy the $3 can of spray adhesive and a big thing of glitter, and just go to town. I set up in the basement on the ping pong table. I call it my glitter station, and I have a box, and anything that needs glitter goes in there, and I spray it. It's not too fumey. And then I glitter it. So yeah, some of it gets fumey, but this one isn't. Okay, the faux bow. This is something that frustrates people. Everybody says, I don't know how to tie a bow. Can you tie a bow for me? Okay, here you go. You'll never have to worry again. You just take a piece of ribbon. Can everybody see that? You probably can't see that. I've snipped a piece of my florist wire here. You take the bow, you make one loop, and just twist it. There's one loop. Now, if you're doing something like this, you don't have to make a full bow. Cheryl, do you want to come here and hold this for 1 second, please? I'm going to show them what you do. Here's what the florists do. They take this guy, they kind of shove it in, and then they wrap this through, and there's your bow. Okay? And then you can put another one down here, but remember the rule of odds. If you're going to do something like this, you know, on a longer garland, do 3, do 5s, whatever. So put them in different ways going down. But that's simple, okay? Now, thank you, Cheryl. If you wanted to carry this through to a bigger piece, like your Christmas tree, and you want an actual bow, make 2 of them. There's the second one. And if you put them in the tree together, there's a bow. And you get 4 pretty tails to wind through the greens below. Does everybody see how I did that? I mean, it's super simple. You just make a loop. And this is how the professionals do it. So if it's good enough for them, it worked for me. So take this through, like if you have something with this color on your coffee table or on your mantle, and you want to carry that color through to your Christmas tree, just stick some of this in the tree. Okay. So today's October 13th. You're thinking, oh my gosh, I haven't been working all year like she has. What do I do? So here we are, October 13th. When you go home, you're like, don't stress out. You don't have to do all this now. But what you could do now is take stock of what you have.
Perfect.
For starters, check your lights. Every year, some of them, we all know, the lights die. So get rid of the stuff, and please purge. If there are things that you're just hanging on to because you think, well, I don't really love it, but I don't feel like I can throw it away, sell it at budget bin next week or throw it away. But get rid of the stuff you don't really love. And that way, that'll leave you with things that you do love. And refresh those things. If you have bows that are crushed or ornaments that are broken, clean that stuff all up. And then identify a space that you want to focus on this year. Like maybe you say, this year I really want my dining room to be gorgeous. Spend the next month coming up with your plan and take stock of what is being shown in the stores this year so that when those Christmas sales happen and when the after Christmas sales happen, you can go collect all the stuff that you want to gather to decorate that space. I did that with Paula last year. We had a great time in January and February doing some projects for her home. And so this is what I would recommend if you feel inspired tonight to go home and do anything related to Christmas decorating. And then, as I said, know when to stop and enjoy it and have fun. Here's the parties. And this is what we do all December. And some of the people in this room know this is what I do all December. We just party all day, all month long. and have friends and family fill the home and really get down to the business of what the holidays is about, whether it's Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever your holiday, and that's the spending of time together and making memories and having fun. And so we make sure that that becomes the priority in December. So